And Orihim, they weren't. Simple answer, previous tournament weren't cast. Basically, vanilla tournaments, there weren't all that many in like the past decade and plus. Just basically they came back with El Destroyer, and for that he kind of like commissioned the observer maps, which is a similar tool what we have in Titans for allowing secondary observers. But tournaments of old obviously weren't casted at all because it wasn't even a thing back then. So it wasn't even any kind of YouTube when you were playing original Age of Mythology. So even Titans tournaments obviously weren't casted, besides some very huge rarities, like for example WCG, so World Cyber Games. These were having some cast games, but that was pretty much like it. Normal community tournaments, nothing was casted there at all. But nonetheless, here we go. With the second game, it's gonna be Ray of Ghost Lake. Just need to be right now remembering. Please remind me later to talk to Destroyer about the missing Jotunheim in there, as you're gonna be getting some first relic with trio of helpful monkeys. Right about now potentially available for the player, whereas on the left there's an infantry Hekame, armor of Achilles. Might be kind of helpful. Definitely not too tragic, and might be going a long way towards at least a bit of assistance. You can see the goals, this time they spawn slightly better, though they are still kind of in the sketchy territory, but nonetheless this is a whole lot better and pretty much like a fair map. Otherwise, the food all the way to the back, you can see one extra piggy available for Swissboy. And are they playing proper Norse? Yes, they are. It's going to be Odin versus Thor. But yet again, we are on vanilla, we are not in Titans, so that's gonna be a whole different matchup than what you might be used to from the previous tournaments, for example, from the Belgrade Open tournament. Now, so otherwise, the back TC, fairly safe one for both Blood and Swissboy, but that is not entirely all that important here, because here again, you can be gathering that only in the Heroic Age, and therefore, as the game is probably gonna be played in Classical Age brutal warfare, as it usually goes in vanilla, we might not even be seeing any kind of extra town centers at all, and it's gonna be all about proper skill in the early stages here. Okay, so at that point, let's gonna check out, for example, the build orders here for Blood. He's gonna be right now having about like 3. It's kind of, you cannot select all the units because we are as the extra players, so therefore we cannot select the other players all together. So it's gonna be bringing in all kinds of challenges. So you can say 3 of them so far. He's getting right now Great Hunt, and that's gonna be cast somewhere to the right, probably. It seems like he got it exactly onto all of those extra caribous. Didn't exactly even save it. Potentially for a few more goats of his own, whereas we're here to the bottom side, there's gonna be the one piggy and a few more that he has just now scouted Swissboy, so therefore he knows all about the hunt that is right now required for him, and that he also requires for himself. So the gold mines, they seem to be fairly safe, and considering that we are starting on 2 gold version of Ghost Lake, it's probably gonna be fairly safe for them, and fairly safe for us to also assume that both of these are going to be available here for like the most of the game, because it's 6,000 gold. So yet again, not entirely certain that they would be having all that much of a need for it pass. Something in the game might be decided a bit earlier. And considering, well, so far what he has seen from Swissboy in the first game, then it all really depends. If he's used to already clicking all the units in, because obviously no auto queue, so you cannot just basically get the temple, get Longhouse, click in, I don't know, Ulfsar, and go home. That's not exactly gonna be working here. So let's see how Blood is used to it. He should be a whole lot more, because yet again, he's the vanilla player. And therefore, looking forward to, well, Swissboy practicing his hotkeys and practicing his clicking on all the keys for the new units. Okay, so this is gonna be right about now medium gold mine. Nicely positioned. The top one is kinda like, maybe could be slightly better, but considering the tower right next to it, he probably can be doing something a bit with the defense. For Blood, he's obviously having quite a bit better ones. This one is absolutely excellent. Though against the Thor, there could be quite a massive forest fire on this, and therefore that would be really opening it fairly easily. Whereas the one on the left side, that's slightly better positioned than what Swissboy is having in the front, but still, that is at least the tower, and in the end, it's kinda on the similar side, but being behind the TC, it's gonna be allowing it to be a bit more safer than for the opponent here. Just right now realize that I'm actually still streaming on Age of Mythology the Titans background. Okay, let's change that. Okay, that's actually, I need to be finding it on my bag of vanilla, but I right now need to be putting off my PG. It's very weird that it's right now not working for me. put it off. Ah, this one. No, finally found it. We are at vanilla properly with the icon on the right. But nonetheless, as the gold mine, for example, the extra ones on the right side are kind of not guarded by any kind of TC. Or for example, on the left side, only even this TC is not gathering really and countering and covering all that many gold mines here. It's probably gonna be not all that important as far as map control. Even this one, even though this one could be probably walled off and maybe this TC could be called, like protecting it. It's still gonna be way later into the game. So let's have a look how the advances are gonna be looking for the players, because you are at about 5 minutes and 4. So they should be already getting in. You can see that actually red click a whole lot earlier at about 3:30, 4 minutes in there. As we are right now looking at Blood really being already through. So it's fairly interesting that actually Swissboy decided kind of is advancing so later, especially since he does have so much of a hunt. But yeah, well, that's kind of how it went for him. He's going to be having hunting dogs, his opponent pretty much the same I'm expecting. Just going to be also waiting for what kind of good choices and unit choices they're going to be having. So hand axe and pickaxe. At this point it's going to be of course making quite a good sense, because you cannot get the second TC. So therefore in the classical age you need to be getting the advantage through the echo upgrades rather than anything else. Longhouse, we unfortunately don't see the units yet. So you're going to be having to wait for them. And horses coming from Odin. Whereas for the opponent, he so far is having towers already. It's gonna be obviously helping him, especially right now with the Willy fighting. And Forest Fire right now coming forward. Swissboy needs to be escaping as soon as possible. And the wood. He does have a lot of stragglers, so he doesn't have to be all that much of a problem. And hey, Liberal Nation, same as Mega Cam, and obviously a bit earlier, Orihim Asahel, welcome everybody to the stream. And he's slowly trickling in. As on the left side, this wood line is gonna be probably fairly safe. And I'm thinking, looking at, for example, this, that Swissboy was already expecting that he was kind of luring the opponent into burning this wood on the left side, and therefore he's gonna be right now having completely safe one in the front. That actually seeming like quite a solid idea and quite a solid strategy. So let's see if it's gonna be working out. But that almost really seems like a plan from the very beginning, as he's gonna be right now even blocking it by Dwarven Armory. And so far he's dropping quite a solid amount of army. I was just looking at the armory, if maybe that was a heroic age signification or the sign-in, but apparently not. It seems to me that it actually will be more like getting some extra military upgrades in the meantime. Seems more like the case, but right now we can see Blood having a higher score in there, and it's gonna be most probably not because of the fast advance, but rather the economical upgrades, and obviously going to be giving him a bit more of an edge. But at the same time, we also mustn't forget that Swissboy is a Thor, so therefore he's gonna be having pretty good war fees, and they might be giving him a bit of a technological and kind of like economical edge themselves on their own, so that is certainly a bit of a possibility. So all the way to the left, that was a bit of a scouting house by Swissboy to have a look onto the gold. But we also mustn't forget the relic that Blood has captured a bit earlier. That's the one for the infantry having a bit more heck armor, as that might really be coming into play. Not obviously yet with the horses, but a bit later it possibly can, and it's actually fairly curious that Swissboy is defending right now with the throwing axeman, but I'm thinking it's gonna be because he might have been expecting at least a few Ulf Sacks in there, but I'm not sure that in vanilla it works that well. Maybe it could. I'm really not right now 100% positive. I really am not. But I'm thinking that the horses are going to be a bit better option in here in the vanilla gameplay and vanilla game. But nonetheless, you can see it's going to be one of the ravens scouting through bottom. Nothing all that much important. Just could be though, seeing if the enemy army is coming like for some kind of scouting from the side and raiding. So that could be helpful on that front. But well, so far we haven't exactly seen anything from Swissboy, and I was looking for the Forest Fire, but it's not coming forward because he has advanced through Forcity, and it's gonna be a bit harder to tell because obviously here again on AOM you are not getting the free mythical unit, and therefore it's kind of making it a bit more challenging for us as casters as well to realize what's going on and need to be paying a bit more attention to what is exactly said in the chat when the basic advanced messages are clicking in. Okay, so right about now we are just gonna be waiting for another raiding from the right flank. Gonna be just checking out how's it looking with the resources and potential advanced times maybe. Can see that Swissboy is definitely aiming for heroic. Look at that amount of food for him. The gold is... whoa, that's a lot of gold for Blood. I mean, like, this is not entirely 100% accurate, but still, it seems to me that Swissboy is gonna be getting into heroic age. He's having a fairly comfortable map. Considering that they have started on basically 2 gold mines, is definitely quite a bit better on that front. So I'm thinking it's not a bad idea, especially since he does have... no, he doesn't have this anymore. He has already pretty much gathered from it all together. And well, of course, to the bottom side, there's a few more horses going for some raiding, as he does have armory as well. So therefore, as he's switching into the farmland already, you can see even husbandry in there. It's going to be fairly simple for him to catch up, but he still should be a whole lot later. You can see right now Scuddy already in. Whereas for the opponent, will probably realize that something like this is going to be going on. Civilians are fairly similar. I'm not sure if he has actually clicked in yet. I don't think he did. I think that he is so far only getting the resources. I think that he's so far not exactly even in, so therefore there's gonna be right now chance for the secondary TC, and Swissboy is going to be right now going for a bit better economy, this time a whole lot faster, and he just needs to be a bit more careful about the gold. He still does have right now the 3000 for the secondary one, but he already needs to be making claim on another one. And I'm wondering what would be better, left one or the right one? On the right, he will be potentially covering his own town center, whereas on the left side, he could be having a bit of a chance on blocking his opponent, because he's gonna be probably a bit more tempted to go that way because of his own 30C. So I think it will be making a bit more sense for Swissboy to try and capture this goal, but he's also gonna be a bit slower as far as the military, and lower rather. So therefore, it may be making a bit more of a sense for him to be a bit more careful, as he's going to be scouted by Draven from Blood, who is already right now aiming with all the army coming forward. Secondary TC obviously up fairly quickly. There's gonna be a secondary at the back for Blood, but he's building with only 2 because he's going for the 3rd one at the same time on the left. And while that is going to be a bit more efficient as far as kind of like the building time, it's of course still going to be resulting into later finish. So maybe he's gonna be a bit later altogether on the numbers, but this is definitely good trading by Blood at quite a crucial timing. And obviously Swissboy is gonna be right now suffering from that, and losing about like 2 dwarfies and maybe a bit of gold on top of it as well. You can see that Ox card actually got removed from the fight. You can see that there is one coming exactly here. So it wasn't destroyed, it was just basically moved a bit more out of the way as well. Nonetheless, all the units are right now coming back, and therefore, with right now protecting the gold mine on the left, Blood is gonna be having a chance on the gold mine that we have talked about at the very beginning of the game. So therefore, a bit of wall in there, or maybe wall there, and there, maybe slightly better potentially, to protect it a bit more for himself. It's going to be safer, but you can see Swissboy is already claiming the right side altogether, and he's gonna be having that build up in time, and therefore the horses are not gonna be exactly all that effective with all this extra shooting, unless he's gonna be properly positioning them all across. So it's going to be right about a medium throwing axeman with him as far as the army. And hey Sebi and Vim, welcome to the stream. Now, otherwise, what's gonna be the switch into the units? So far, I don't see that. Gonna be having to wait for kind of like the resolution. So far, apparently, a few more Ulfsarks are coming forward. This seems like even a new army altogether. At this point for him, whereas Will in the middle, apparently a few more Ulfsarks are also coming for Blood, which is a bit of an interesting choice. But it's probably gonna be just a remainder from, like, basically building the TCs a bit earlier. And right now, he's gonna be blocking the hill fort and wants to be controlling both sides of the map at this point, and he's apparently going a whole lot more aggressively with the gold control. He's going to be definitely having to wall off even this part, just to be completely and utterly safe. And yeah, maybe he could be wanting at least a few walls here as well, just in case the starting fun is going to be stopping. But you can see this is gonna be heading already for market, and well, it's gonna be right now market here attempted as well, and therefore both are heading for the mythic. Quite a bit better food for Blood. You can see that Swissboy is definitely having a bit of a problem with that. You can see the gold is kinda solid for both, but the food is quite a bit of a difference. And that could be resulting into Blood having quite a bit higher chance on the mythical age, being there faster. And if I had to guess, it's going to be Rak versus Rak here. And considering that basically we have seen Scuddy from both, right? Yep, both are going for Scuddy. So didn't want to be going for the flame weapons, only to be frosted in there. Blood is already going for that, and that is a fairly different, rather interesting choice at this stage. He's going to be, of course, Swissboy letting it use potentially on the Ragnarok. So yes, right now he could be using potentially the opportunity to, for example, raid on the gold mines, or maybe even the gatherers here, as apparently Swissboy is kind of refusing to switch into farmland too quickly. But he's at least going to be having plenty of them in the corner of his base, quite nicely walled off. Probably could be even trying a bit of a wall in there, if he's so intent on such a wall, but it would be damn expensive here altogether, so not entirely too sure if you'll be wanting to do that. So heavy Ulfsarks. I'm thinking that actually Swissboy is right now playing it a bit more into heroic age fighting, rather than realizing that Blood is heading for mythical. Okay, let's gonna switch that off. There's a battle right now going on, so let's not look into the resources for the Mythical Age just now. Alright, now we can. Yeah, I'm thinking that Blood already clicked. Yep, he definitely already clicked into Mythical Age at about like 30 minutes. For the opponent, he definitely did not. He invested into the heavy infantry. It's gonna be like the difference there. Because it seems to me that Blood could be advancing into Mythical Age in about like the next 20-30 seconds. And with Rack on top of that, with 3 TCs, yep, there it is. Even a bit faster, that's going to be definitely something that Swissboy can't deal with yet. He can be at least frosting apart, so Blood has to be playing it carefully and properly. So let's see if he will. Now he's obviously going to be having plenty of squads all across the map. Not sure if he's going to be starting with the trade all that much, but he's already going to be coming home. You can see the hill fort might not be exactly all that influential, but with all the Ulfs, with right now the Mithril breastplate for him, for the opponent, we are looking at already double bronze and copper. And on top of that, even, of course, the heck armor increased for the military units for him, for the infantry. That is seeming quite unlikely that Swissboy will be able to handle it too easily. But yet again, he does have the chance of frosting. So if his opponent is gonna be messing up and not basically splitting the army, then he could be giving his opponent the next 40 seconds. You can see right now gathering as much gold as possible. That might have to be a frost deer already. Yep. So that is part of the army going to be gone. On the left side, he doesn't have anything too much. This is gonna be a whole lot more favorable fight for him. He just doesn't have too many infantrymen as far as the throwing axemen though. So that's a bit of an issue, and I'm really not sure. Yeah, I'm actually fairly sure at this point that Swissboy has absolutely no chance to advance into the Mythical Age at this point. I'm just right now quickly looking into upgrades. He's having pickaxe and plow. So let's see how well he's gonna be doing in here. As Bart is heading exactly for the correct place, because he has scouted it earlier, so he knows where to go with the Odin's Ravens, and they're gonna be having to right now escape. And of course, this is a fight even for like potentially stronger Ragnarok, or even weaker for Swissboy from the point of view of Blood. And well, at least he's having quite a solid army. That's something going for him. That's something that you cannot say about Blood. And Swissboy is going to be having at least a few more extra upgrades, copper and copper in here. Add it in, whereas the opponent, is he gonna be getting something more? He's all bronze at least. He's at least all bronze, but there is the Balder. He actually did manage to sneak it in. As I said, exactly the information is not 100% correct, but the battle definitely is taken on the wrong place. He should be just falling back to the TC. This is a massive tactical mistake for Swissboy, because there's absolutely no reason for him to be fighting outside of the range of the TC. Right now lost the whole army, and he's going to be falling back for a bit more. And how many actually economic units were there? 79 for Swissboy. He's gonna be having 20 better rack. That is something that might be helping him, even with the missing upgrades. He's gonna be... Oh, scratch the missing upgrades. He's actually managing to get onto double bronze in the end. As opposed to opponent. Oh, he's gonna be at least getting iron shields, but not like shields are gonna be helping him here in the fight at all. So let's see, this is still well in power of Swissboy. Just gonna depends how many resources he kept for a bit later. Let's gonna check that out, if you can see at least a portion of it. No, a lot of food for Swissboy still left, maybe. Gold, not too much, but you can see that red is basically all down. So he doesn't have all that much of a chance to build anything and add anything to the army. So there is right now the probability that Swissboy might be able to make it work with some extra resources, but really problem is that Blood is playing this kinda carefully, and well, he's trying to lure the opponent next to his shooting towers, that are not exactly shooting, but are the TC. But it seems that maybe he's kinda halfway given up on that. Not sure. Not sure, but definitely Swissboy lured him a bit closer to the town center. Could have been having ever so slightly better fight, and maybe could have been giving him a bit more of an edge. Okay, so that is the healing spring power. That's not gonna be helping entirely all that much for him. Obviously during action and during battle, it's not healing too much, as right now there's gonna be at least a bit of advantage for Swissboy. But how many units? Quite a solid actually portion he has managed to kill. You can see for the opponent he doesn't have any reinforcements anywhere, so he has managed to really win by the numbers here quite confidently. Whereas to the bottom side there are still plenty of units for Blood, but I don't think it's gonna be nearly enough, considering the portion seems to be slightly bigger for Swissboy still, and he does have also the secondary army right now still available, so if he's gonna be careful right now letting all the units heal, well, there is something to be said about right now the power of numbers just there. And Liberal Nation, yeah, I kinda think so he did. I think the same as you, but he was gonna try to buy himself time for the Ragnarok, and I was thinking and hoping that that's going to be a game-winning condition, but unfortunately that did not exactly prove to be so all that much. He's gonna right now destroying the back TC for his opponent, so that the replenishment of the army and of the military, rather of the economy, is not going to be so quickly and quick, but he needs to be really careful about the micro-win, because if he's not, then I'm thinking that Blood does have the skill, from what I have seen so far, to be able to basically chip on him bit by bit and make it work for him in the long run. That's gonna be market attempted by Swissboy. He apparently needs to be getting some kind of trade going, or maybe he just wants to be selling resources, as he maybe lost the initial one. But nonetheless, the Ragnarok and the army for Blood is already right now going to be completely gone. And therefore, in the end, even though it was looking a bit sketchy for Swissboy there for a moment, Swissboy is going to be coming up victorious with, well, 20 better rack. Simple like that. Simple like that. But, well, obviously, there wasn't anything simple about the game, and Swissboy probably had to be a bit worried. Could have been doing some better things here and there, as far as, for example, luring the army next to the town center, but in the end, he managed to emerge victorious, so congratulations on that. And we're gonna be heading into game number 3. That's going to be second home map for one of the players. So in the end, Swissboy is gonna be having a lot higher count, because obviously the good battles, the secondary TC and even tertiary were up a bit faster, so therefore he was having a bit of an edge in there. And from that, so congrats on that, I guess. But much more importantly, he was just having 20 stronger rack, and with the same upgrades that they were having, and even some extra throwing axemen clicked in for Swissboy that Blood didn't have, that is going to be making quite a bit of a difference. And also the difference was that Swissboy is having basically pop army, whereas Blood was having like maybe half pop army at max. He wasn't having as many units in there, and that is resulting into the statistics here that we see in the military. Otherwise, research count fairly similar for them. Not really that much of a difference, but quite a nice Norse battle. And we can definitely expect another one right now coming forward in game number 3, because it yet again, per the rules of the tournament, needs to be exactly that. You can see here, like 80 versus 60 rack. Does tend to make a bit of a difference, doesn't it? You can see the difference also in the standing army for Swissboy. Was also a bit of an edge for him. So, GG.